everybody. Scott Golden with the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel and the All Star Wrestling Review series for the first of March 1980. 1980's been a fun foray thus far, and will continue to be such. 1981, I'm halfway through my watching, so I'm trying to catch up over the next few weeks with these records. But in any event, moving into March is an interesting time. Actually, all of this time period to me is interesting because I didn't become a fan until '89. So I always had an interest in the decade of the '80s from the perspective of kind of running forward. The Wild Samoans in a handicapped match, 3-on-2. Steve King, Bill Berger, and John Buford handicap match 602. Sika pins Berger with a headbutt off the top rope. The headbutt off the top rope and headbutts in general seem to become more of a, at least partially, more of a offensive maneuver for the team here as we kind of move forward a little bit into the run. Obviously, the Samoan heads and anybody with a bit of an ethnic background, hard head is pretty consistent as a concept here. And so, in any event, the Samoans, lots of punch kick. You're not going to have a bunch of technical mastery here. That's not their role. That's not their desire, I guess you'd say. But anyway, so they're kind of punching and kicking through 3-on-2. An odd thing to see, maybe just to put over the fact that they're extra ready to be tag team champions, which they move into that over the next little while here. Anyhow, the enhancement talents gets tossed out of the ring. At one point, Sika picks a guy up, brings him in over the top rope the hard way, and tries to take things going back in a consistent basis, and certainly gets things going back in a positive direction. And eventually the top rope headbutt and the 1-2-3 gets the victory for the Samoans. Lou Albano's team very much in control. We move into the next in the series of matches here, which happens to be Rene Goulet defeating Baron Mikel Cicluna via disqualification, 7:48. Referee retrieved a foreign object from Cicluna's trunks. Goulet applies full Nelson after the match, and Goulet repeatedly hit Cicluna with the object, and it knocked him out of the ring. After commercial, Vince conducts a ringside interview with Goulet, discussing the differences in American and European wrestling, talking about rounds, talking about a lot of the, pacing of matches and different things. I actually would like to see more European wrestling than I've seen, because that style intrigues me. Anyway, heavy on the head scissors early and neck vices early. They work the head scissors for several minutes, does Cicluna here, and just being able to get 3-4 minutes out of a hold like that is something that guys today wouldn't know how to do and keep a crowd into it. Arm bars by Goulet, who also is part of the post-match promo, talks about wanting to be a member of the U.S., the country, and just, kind of looks or sounds very humble. Obviously, the referee catches him with the foreign object. Goulet is happy that the referee does catch the man in that way. And then we move on to the next in series of matches. Larry Sharp, who we've seen. I don't know how far he goes in, house show matches at the time, but he's being highlighted pretty consistently on television here. Charlie Brown is his opponent. Sharp himself obviously opened the Monster Factory years later, probably the first wrestling school by the mid-'80s, but takes the man down and, arm bars, but he will choke. He will rake the eyes. He will do whatever he possibly can to get an advantage, or legal or illegal, as it were, and Sharp tries to cut the man off. Does manage to get a victory after a pile driver, but just a lot of almost what I would say you could call overselling or hyperselling during the match itself. Tony Atlas up next with another match. Atlas again getting really pushed as a huge babyface at the time. JoJo Andrews gets defeated by him with a sunset flip, and Atlas thanks the fans for their support as he continues to improve. And the inference is that he'll be around a while, as Vince talks about. Tony Atlas having more open contracts than before to compete against a variety of WWF talent. JoJo Andrews tries to keep out of the ring a little bit. Again, the sunset flip from Atlas, just a variation of a finisher. So the one thing I love is that variation of finishers in the 70s and 80s, even the early 90s, much better than it is now. So many schoolboys and people refusing to do actual real jobs as it relates to putting people over in a strong way. Anyway, Hulk Hogan against Mike Masters, getting a win with a bear hug in 240. Obviously, Hogan once again presented by Classy Freddie Blassie, who brings back his pumpkin orange jacket. Big body slam by Hogan. Hogan also wears down his man a little bit. The leg drop does make a return, but the bear hug is how Hogan gets the victory. And we will close with that. Hogan on top, and we will close and come back with more right after this.